Hey, hey, hey. What's going on, everyone? Still about an hour away from the actual live stream starting, but figured we'd chat about some stuff upcoming here. Maybe some predictions of what we're going to see tonight. I asked in the chat what you guys are expecting. My I kind of went back and looked at some of the old Tesla delivery events, and a lot of them they're just kind of showing specs and features of the car, not exactly a lot of like new information or like crazy information we haven't seen before. So I'm thinking it's don't expect too much, I guess, because most of the old events were kind of just showing off the car and showing some things it can do. Some things I would like to see tonight. I know the Plaid powertrain was first talked about in the Roadster, so I'm hoping we get kind of a sneak peek of the Roadster tonight, and hear an update on that, because we really haven't heard much since the reveal back in, I think, 2017 is when it was revealed. So we still don't know a lot about the car and would love to get an update on that. Heard we might hear some gaming news as well, because if we look at the new interior of the Model S, it's got that gaming interior now. They're apparently gonna have some insane games in here. Even from the rear screen, they're gonna have a little gaming setup, and I think they're gonna be using some pretty heavy graphics cards and processors to handle that inside the car. So it's gonna be a rolling gaming machine, which is pretty sweet. Be nice for passengers. So we might hear something about that, because I think this will be the first vehicle that'll actually have something like that from Tesla. I mean, we've had the screen in the past, obviously, pretty unique, or what Tesla is known for is their giant touchscreen, but taking it up a notch with some gaming involved. So obviously this vehicle is the first to have it, so I'm guessing we'll get some updates on that. This event is actually being hosted at the test track in near Tesla's headquarters in California. So I can't remember the exact address. I'm sure we could look at it, but they've actually got a test track where they can test these vehicles and test some things out. So I'm sure there's going to be some stuff like that. Let me pull up. I've got some pictures here from somebody on Twitter. Actually posted the invite, which I wanted to share with you guys. I think this was so this is the actual invite they sent out to people once they verified that they could actually get into the event. Unfortunately, I didn't get invited, but that's all right. I don't have a reservation onto one of these, and I'm still a pretty small creator in the Tesla space. So this is the invite here. So it's actually being held at the test track, 46625 Cato Road in Fremont. And it also says you'll be required to sign a COVID safety and test ride waiver. So I'm guessing they're going to do some test rides around this test track at the event, which will be pretty sweet. Doors open at 7 p.m. Remarks begin at 8:30. They just updated that to 8:15. That is on Pacific time, so we're not looking at this. It looks like this isn't going to start for another 52 minutes or so, so we got a lot of time to chat about things. But yeah, I'm interested to see what we see tonight. Where's everybody from in the comments here? We've got about 10 viewers, so thanks you guys for tuning in. I'm hoping most of you are subscribed already, but if you aren't, definitely hit that subscribe button if you like Tesla content. I actually want to look up this Tesla facility. Let's see where that actually is. "46625 Cato Road." Okay. So they've just got like a short little loop here. So nothing too crazy, but Probably a solid little test track. Looks like they got some nice straightaways, so I'm sure we'll get lots of acceleration tests, which is what I've been expecting, because this Plaid Model S is just insane. So and of course a lot of people have been talking about the Model S, but the Model X is also going Plaid as well. So again, pretty insane specs from an SUV, 2.5, 0 to 60, over 1,000 horsepower, pretty much unheard of in any kind of SUV. But similar kind of setup to the Model S. You've got the horizontal screen, which I'm glad they put this in the Model X and S finally. I was not a huge fan of the vertical screen. I'm really liking that they're kind of streamlining this. I'm sure this will make software development a lot easier too, since they just have this single format now for screens. They don't need to develop two different softwares or UIs for the 3 and Y and then the S and X. They're able to keep that a little bit more streamlined. And all the pictures we've seen, it looks like they've got the updated UI too, the V11 software, I believe. And I know V10 is what has been out since, gosh, over a year now. I think, because when I got my car, it still had V9 on it, version 9 of the software, and it wasn't until after I updated my car after I got it that it got the latest software on there. So hoping they also talk about this steering wheel, because obviously no stocks on here for turn signals, changing gears, any of that kind of stuff. Guessing we're going to hear more about this. We've seen some conflicting pictures of both the yoke steering wheel like they have here, and also some leaked photos with the round steering wheel. So I'm wondering what they're going to end up going with. Guessing since this is a high performance car that they're going to stick with the yoke, but I don't know. It's also got wireless controller capability. I forgot about that. So it looks like you'll be able to pair controllers to this somehow. I wonder if Tesla will make their own, or you'll be able to use like a Bluetooth controller or something like that. I know those can be a little bit laggy sometimes, so I'm wondering if they're gonna adapt it for other stuff as well. But yeah, almost a complete redesign of the Model S and X. I'm glad they're continuing to stick with those vehicles. I know they're a little bit more niche and don't sell as well as the 3 and Y, but still, I mean, people still are buying the vehicles. So I'm glad they are continuing with that, continue making them exciting. So mic sounds great. That's good. I did a little test of my audio beforehand, so I'm glad it's coming through okay. I'm actually going to adjust my camera a little bit though. There we go. I could probably see more of my face. Oh, you can hear me breathing. That's great news. Should I lower my mic a little bit? It shouldn't be up too high. It looks like it's at a good level here. I can turn it down a little bit if you guys want, but I think it's probably pretty good. So what is everybody most excited about with Tesla? Do you like the cars? Do you like the solar? I know I'm a big fan of their solar stuff. We haven't really heard a lot about that recently. We've heard a little bit about batteries and stuff, but not much about any updates to solar. Okay, mic's good. I'll leave it where it's at then. I know right now I've got the Model 3. I'm still looking at buying a house here in the next couple of years, but I'm excited to kind of go through that whole process and actually get a good home charging setup, because that's something I'm definitely missing out on right now from working from home. and just in an apartment, so I don't really have a good charging option right now. Is anybody here new to the channel? Just clicked on this because you were trying to find the actual Tesla live stream? I know that's happened before, so no worries if that's the case. Cogzed says, looking forward to the 3-motor Cybertruck. I've got solar on my house already, thinking of getting 3 power walls. Nice. Yeah, the power walls are surprisingly kind of small. I think they're only like 13.5 kilowatt hours. So, I mean, it gets the job done, but I think definitely having 2 or 3, depending on the size of your house, is definitely more beneficial. Cybertruck looks like it's going to be a pretty cool vehicle too. I've got a reservation on the Cybertruck and the Ford F-150 Lightning. I'm probably going to be pretty conservative with when I actually pull the trigger on buying a second car, because neither vehicle's on the road right now. So I don't want to like take delivery of one of the first cars and have something go wrong. I know some early cars, no matter who the manufacturer is, just have issues. That's just the way it goes. And with Ford being their first electric pickup, and with Tesla, this completely new form factor for a car, so who knows, I mean, what could go wrong or really well. I mean, we really don't know. So just gonna kind of take it slow on that decision, but I've got both the reservations in, obviously, so I want the truck to do well. Cogzed, thank you for subscribing. That's awesome. Yeah, the Ford Lightning, I was really impressed. I'm hoping they bring the vehicle to home capabilities to some Tesla vehicles. I think that I feel like they're kind of holding out on adding that capability to their cars because they have Powerwall and they have solar. They have all of that kind of stuff that they sell themselves. So they don't want to say, hey, you can just buy a car and it can do all this stuff. And then you got the issue of, well, if your power goes out and your car automatically starts powering up your home, what if you've got to go to work the next day and drive a significant distance? You don't want to wake up with a dead car. So I know some people have, with solar, backup batteries kind of have, once they know the power goes out and they're running strictly on battery backup, they'll turn some things off and adjust things so they're not using as much power. So maybe that's something that that they could adapt in that Ford. Forget what they call it. The Ford, whatever their charging system is that allows that switch, that throwover switch to the battery backup. Biggest difference, I think, between the Cybertruck and the Ford Lightning is probably range. Tri-motor Cybertruck, obviously 500 plus miles. That is hard to beat in any car right now. I mean, I know the Plaid Plus was originally supposed to have over 500, but they just canceled that. I think it's down to like 412 or something. So I'm thinking that this might be either probably the Plaid Model S by that point, I would think would have a higher range than the Cybertruck. But big thing with trucks is I feel like you've got to start with a high range, because as soon as you throw any kind of cargo in there, you start towing something, your range is going to drop. So the higher you can get that range number up, the better. Yeah, and power. I think the Cybertruck does beat the Lightning on power too. I did like how the Lightning did standard dual motor. They're not even selling anything with a single motor. So I know Tesla is starting to get away from that. I think the only single motor vehicle they sell anymore is the Model 3 standard range, because the Model Y starts, they got rid of the standard range Model Y or the rear-wheel drive Model Y. They're only selling dual motor now. I think that's definitely the direction they want to go, is just keep everything dual motor. because obviously the S and X both dual motor, and Model 3 I think is the only single motor. Yeah, rear wheel drive. Model S started with the rear wheel drive because it was lighter. Once they adjusted some things, got better batteries, all that good stuff, they added the dual motor, bigger battery, more range, were able to do it all, and now they're all standard dual motor. See if anything's going on Twitter. See if anybody's tweeting from the event. Oh yeah, we might see this new crimson color today too. So I think Elon tweeted about some crimson red color or something like that. That is coming in the Model S that he drives, and is some new paint color. So I'm wondering if they'll offer that on the Plaid. Yeah, I'm disappointed I didn't get invited, but I don't think I don't know how much time I would have had to fly out to California for just a night. Do you think removing the radar from the Model 3/Y will degrade the experience? I was just listening to Marquez Brownlee's Waveform podcast recently, and he had a good comment on that. I think there's benefits and there's pros and cons to it. The biggest thing I think with the radar is it can be tricked by a lot of stuff. It's very low resolution. That's what's causing phantom braking if you're ever on autopilot, or any kind of issue like that where your car suddenly like sees something and stops. Like, it's really good at seeing really big objects, but not good at figuring out what those objects are. It'll just see something and say, oh, I need to slow down, or I need to speed up, whatever. When you go to cameras, that means everything's relying on those cameras to figure out what things are. So if you're on adaptive cruise control or whatever, it'll know, hey, a car is in front of you. All that kind of stuff. It'll know exactly what's around you versus just kind of getting, oh, there's an object there. So yeah, I'm kind of happy that I still have the radar, because another thing is radar is pretty notorious for bouncing underneath the car in front of you to see the car in front of the car in front of you. And having that ability is really nice, because you can see, like, if the car in front of you slams on its brakes, you can stop before you rear end the car in front of you. So that's why I think let me see. That's why they're actually limiting the following distance. So what's it say here? So auto steer, limited maximum speed of 75 miles per hour. So you're not going too fast, and you're able to and the car is able to take control better and understand what's happening better in a longer minimum following distance. So right now you can get it down to like 2, I think. So I'm guessing they're probably going to expand that to a longer following distance, so you don't have that issue of being too close to the car in front of you that you can't see the car in front of the car in front of you. So I believe radar was able to do that pretty well. The thing I don't like about this is they're now shipping cars with less capability than the cars that are already out. So my car can do all the stuff that is checked right here with the radar included, whereas the Tesla Vision, some stuff isn't approved by the NHTSA or IHS, whatever that is. All the traffic safety stuff, some of that isn't approved yet, and this emergency lane departure avoidance is still coming soon. So I don't know what the radar has to do with that though, which is kind of odd because I feel like that's more of a vision thing, seeing the lane lines, but I don't know. Any other questions? Daniel placed a deposit on a Model 3 SR Plus. Test drove one yesterday and also the test drive, the long range. Huge difference in driving, but the SR Plus does the job well. Yeah, I would say if you're between the two and you can afford the long range, definitely go for the long range. I was kind of in the same boat. I was like, hey, I could get the long range for a little bit more. I think the gap is big enough where it's a harder decision, but definitely go for the long range if you can do it. I love having extra buffer on range all the time. When I bought my car, I think the standard range was like 250 miles. It's probably better now that it's like 263. But I know some people that have bought the long standard range plus and have kind of regretted it because they're like, hey, I like road trips take a little bit longer. You got to make more charging stops. But if you're just somebody that is driving around town, the standard range plus definitely gets the job done. If you're just trying to get into a Tesla, it's still an excellent car. And if you're worried about snow or anything, not sure exactly where you live, but I know I used to have a rear-wheel drive car and it slipped around all the time. But since the Teslas have that low center of gravity, it's definitely handles a lot better in the snow. And you're able to control the car a lot better. Can barely afford the SR Plus. Going to put down a huge down payment. That's the smart financial decision. Not a financial advisor, but that's my personal opinion. That's the way to go. So that's awesome that you're pulling the trigger on a Tesla though. That's really exciting. That was like my biggest goal after graduating college was saving up for a Tesla. So it's very exciting. Personally, I think it's a much better investment than buying any kind of other new car as well, because I think used EVs are going to get, used gas cars are going to, I think, plummet in price when everybody's starting to switch to EVs and realize how much better they really are. So Nicholas Howard, what's going on? Thanks for hopping in for a little bit. Just chatting about the Tesla Plaid event, my predictions, and then answering some questions from future Tesla owners. So yeah, I think I've live streamed most of the Tesla events. I think the last event we did was the live stream the the Cybertruck reveal was the most recent Tesla vehicle reveal that I live streamed the Ford F-150 Lightning. So this is something fun I like doing. I feel like I can chat with you guys a little bit more one-on-one, a little more casually than I do in my videos and even in the Q&As. So if you're just checking in and not subscribed, definitely suggest you subscribe. Got a lot of good Tesla and EV content out there. My whole goal is really to educate people about EV ownership, show them the benefits, the downsides, everything in between about owning an EV, and definitely open to video ideas as well too. So either shoot me a message on social media or drop it in the chat here, and I'll definitely add it to my list to cover on the channel. What's your guys' favorite Tesla color? I'm a little bit partial because I've got the midnight silver. I really like the look of that. I think I was between, when I bought my car, black was the standard color, I believe. Or no, they had just recently switched it to white, and I didn't want a white Tesla, so I was between black and gray. But I ended up going with gray because I think it stands out a little bit more, and not as many people have the gray one. Yeah, is it so? Is your I'm probably gonna pronounce it. Is it Gummer or Goomer? But yeah, seeing the Roadster in person is awesome. I got to see it um, at the Tesla Battery Day actually. Goomer. Okay, got it. Yeah, I got to see it at Tesla Battery Day, and that was awesome. Such an insane vehicle. Let's see if my video pops up. Yep, it is. Okay. Yeah, so I fortunately got to go to Battery Day, which was kind of like the shareholders meeting right in the middle of a pandemic, but got to see. This is my first Tesla event too, which was pretty cool. Yeah, right when you walked in, got to see the Roadster, got to see that up close and personal. The paint on there is like crazy too. It's almost got like a color shifting kind of paint on it because it kind of fades from like red to orangish yellow. It's pretty insane. Yeah, there's me. Got to see the ATV in person too. Cybertruck, obviously. They had their whole lineup of cars there, so that was really cool. So apparently Tesla has two Roadsters. They have two prototype Roadsters at least. They have this red one, which is kind of their one that actually works. The one that you saw at the initial reveal. It's the one at the Peterson Automotive Museum right now. It's the one they bring out that actually works. And then they've got a white one, I believe, that's just the shell of the vehicle. It doesn't operate, it doesn't roll, or it rolls, but it doesn't, it's just a rolling mule, essentially. It doesn't have any kind of powertrain in there. So apparently, they only have two of them. I heard that on Twitter, but I'm not sure how accurate that is. I'd assume if they're working on the vehicle, they probably have more of them. Or at least like ones that maybe don't quite have the shell on there. So yeah, that event was a lot of fun. Hopefully I can get to go to that shareholders meeting again because that was a lot of fun. 30 minutes away, getting close. Tweet out the live stream again. Oh gosh, okay. This is interesting. Looks like they've got some hidden vehicles there. I saw that drag coefficient picture of that earlier. And it looks like they've got some cars underneath tarps and stuff over here. Got a lot of stuff covered up. I'm wondering if those are maybe just like delivery cars and they're trying to keep them looking nice so like dust or whatever doesn't get on them or people aren't touching them. That's the only thing I can think of. But there's also something underneath here, which I don't know what that is. Very interesting. Oh, that's cool. So I guess some of the Plaid cars have this new Plaid badge, which is awesome. I think that's really cool. That's definitely unique. Yeah, so instead of saying Plaid or Model S or whatever, it's got the little Plaid badge. I like that a lot. That's really cool. Let's see what else is going on here. All of the test track here. Test rides. There you go. That's really cool. Oh, there we go. Yeah, they're doing launches at the beginning here. That's cool. Man, I'm really excited about this. This is the first Tesla event since Battery Day, I believe. Okay, here's a little window sticker. Ooh, okay, this is interesting. Can we zoom in on this at all? Nope. So I don't know if you guys can see it on the stream here, but it looks like the yoke steering wheel is actually listed as an option here. It says it's included, so I'm guessing they're not upcharging for it, but if they're listing that out, that probably means there's an option to get a regular steering wheel. That's my guess, at least. So they have the tri-motor, all that stuff, 8 cameras, all the normal stuff, it looks like. Doesn't say anything about the gaming system, at least that I see on here. Vehicle price looks like 120 some thousand. A lot of money. I don't need a car that nice. I want a car that nice, but I don't need a car that nice. Oh, this is cool. Little flyover. Hopefully the resolution will get better here. Big stage up there. A lot of Model S's strewn about. That's cool. Are they going to have everybody packed in here, I'm guessing? It's cool they just got cars kind of just sitting around, too, to look at. That's really cool. Shout out Tesla Fremont Flyover YouTube. That's awesome. Go give them a subscription. I don't know if I follow them or not. These are, I'm guessing these are probably some of the first deliveries over right here. Either employees or like first reservation holders right there. Kevin said he's expecting a reveal of the $25,000 to $30,000 Tesla. That would be cool. I'm not expecting that, but if they were to give any information on that, I would love to hear more about that. I know a lot of people are looking forward to that. See latest tweets, because then we'll see all the new stuff. Tesla Raj is there. I like that badge. That's cool. I've got my badge from from Battery Day, but I do not have I don't have any other badges. Oh, interesting. Okay. Aerodynamic flow visualization. So I don't know if that's being projected on there or that's just like chalk or something to see how it flows through the vehicle. That's pretty cool though. Oh, here's another video from Dealer of Happiness. Something hidden underneath there. The front end of that looks weird. Like, why is it propped up like that? Maybe the hood's just up, but I don't know. SpaceX Roadster, maybe? That'd be insane to see tonight. There's been a lot of like leaks or like Elon has talked about it a lot, so I can definitely see them pulling out some stuff like that. I think Sean Mitchell on Twitter had a good tweet that Tesla's very good at marketing without advertising. They know how to put on a good show and impress people and show stuff we haven't seen before. So I think we'll definitely see something we're not expecting tonight. It's just about what it is. A lot of basketball, tech, and Tesla on my feed. I just got done watching I watched the end of the Bucks Nets game. That was pretty insane. Is it too late to invest in Doge? I will say that I bought Doge back in June of last year, I think. Yeah, I think June of last year, like last summer, and ended up selling it like 2 or 3 weeks later. Just like doubled my money and got out because I didn't want to risk it. And now that money would be worth a lot more because Doge is basically like 100 times, gone up by 100 times. So getting close here. Let's refresh, make sure we're on time here. Yeah, still the same. RIP. Hello, Brianna. Thank you for tuning in for a little bit. What else you guys are expecting tonight? Anything else that I've missed or anything possible that Tesla could talk about tonight? Thinking maybe Roadster, maybe an update on the cheaper car, the $25,000 Tesla, maybe the SpaceX Roadster. That'd be pretty cool. Haven't heard a lot about the Semi either, so maybe something on the Semi. Again, that got revealed 3 years ago, and we haven't even seen that ship yet. We've seen a lot of prototypes out rolling around, but nothing actually shipped. Other thing I noticed is Teslas are like sold out right now too. These are all in Ohio Model 3s, but this is the first time I've actually seen any on here in a few weeks. We've got one used Tesla in Columbus. Hello, Creeper All Man. Even at the Tesla event, I'm seeing a lot of Model S's. I wonder if they're even talking about the Model X today. I feel like there's almost nothing. Okay, apparently the Tesla event is on YouTube. So let's see if it's on here. Oh. Pull this up too. Chat disabled. You gotta be in my chat or my live stream to chat. That's the rule. .9 quarter mile in an SUV. That's absurd. What was the range on this guy? I thought it was more than 390. Because wasn't the Plaid Plus originally like... Oh, the long range is 412, then the Plaid is 390. Okay, so the longest range Model S is still 412 miles. I'm really liking these new wheels too, these Arachnid wheels. Big fan of those. I've got some powder coated sport wheels for the Model 3 I've still got to put on my car. I was supposed to do that soon. But I don't really need new tires, and tires are expensive, so. Hey Jim, thanks for hopping on. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to hear something about the Roadster. I've been eager to hear something about it. So I'm hoping we get some new info tonight. I'm sure others are as well, especially those that got the free ones with referrals, and also the ones that dropped $50,000 on a reservation and probably haven't heard much in a few years. Because it was originally supposed to come out like last year, and we're coming on like 4 years since since it was released. Just quick. Sorry for that. Jeez. Here's all the new Plaid Model S's. Looking fresh. A lot of neutral colors here. I don't see a single red one. Or I guess that first one. A lot of blues and blacks. Man, it's getting late here. It's 11 o'clock here on the East Coast. I don't know where everybody's watching from, but I am usually in bed by now. So, this better be good. Hope Tesla shows us something we haven't seen before. Anybody Tesla owners in here? I know a lot of people are looking at buying Teslas, but any actual Tesla owners in here? Okay, they still do have the carbon fiber interior. I've never really liked wood as an interior. I don't know why that's so popular. I feel like that kind of goes back to like the old car days when things were like luxury and everything. Like they were actual wood, not the like fake wood. I do like the white Tesla interior though. If I get another Tesla or like a more performance Tesla, I think that I think I'd go for the white seats. They look really nice. Probably help keep the car a lot cooler too. Brian said new feature he wants to see is expecting a new button that applies a car cover when activated. That'd be cool. Yeah, I think if I got any kind of performance Tesla, I like the red with the white interior. I think that looks really nice. That's how they revealed the Roadster too, so I think that's why I like it. Yeah. That's just sick. So cool. I think my biggest question about the Roadster is where do you put this glass piece when you're not using it for the roof, since it's a convertible. So I think this comes off if it's convertible, but it's just like a piece of glass. It doesn't slide into anywhere or like go away. So I think you got to stick it on the trunk or something. This car still looks like from 10 years in the future, even though it's like a 3-year-old design. This is the, make sure that's on. So this is the prototype Model S right here, actually. Really rounded design. I'm glad they've kind of evolved it to be more aggressive, even though like the older Model S's looked a lot better than this in my opinion. But yeah, real bulbous on the front, obviously for aerodynamic reasons. But yeah, that's the old prototype Model S. Black brake calipers on the test cars, it looks like. Okay. Oh, that's pretty cool. Instead of silver, like the normal metal look. Oh, we got an interior shot here. Okay, this was pretty cool. So, looks like we got some Tesla tequila here on the center console. Nice. All pretty standard. Got the yoke steering wheel. Looks like it's got the updated UI as well, so I'm hoping we hear something about that tonight, or they're going to start shipping that out soon. I can't imagine they'd only put it on the new Model S's and that be it. But yeah, pretty similar interior to the updated Model 3 and Y. It's got the wireless charger in there. It's got the updated center console. New vent system as well. The old Model S had the like typical like hand vents where you gotta move it around to where you want it. Now it's on the touch screen, all updated there. But yeah, looks really nice. White on white. That's sweet. So this lady, Manic Marge, must be the one of the first Model S Plaid deliveries. So it looks like they're only delivering like maybe 30 cars. But that looks good. Oh, that's interesting. Model S charges faster than the 3 and Y, which has a 250 kilowatt max charging rate. Tesla website says Model S supercharge up to 200 miles in 15 minutes. 3/Y is 162 in 15 minutes. Let's verify that. $200 miles in 15 minutes. And Model 3. $175 miles in 15 minutes. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I'm wondering why. I don't know if. Yeah. The hard thing is the Model 3 has a smaller battery, which you would think it would charge faster since it has a smaller battery. But maybe the S and X charge faster because they have a bigger battery. I'm not sure exactly how that works, like on a physics side or battery chemistry side of things, because I'm not as well versed in that. 3 minutes away. Yeah, I agree, Jim. Might be a higher peak speed, but better charging curve. 'Yeah, I have a feeling a lot of people will be buying Plaid S's after this event. And the big question, as always, is will Tesla start on time? Because they originally said it was going to start at 8:30 Pacific, push it up to 8:15. I have a feeling it's actually going to start around 8:30. Two minutes away. Appreciate you all tuning in. If you've been here the whole time for the whole hour I've been monologuing to myself, I really do appreciate it. So the question is, are they going to cut to the stage, or are they just going to cut to a... usually they start out these events with some sort of video, so I'd imagine they'll probably roll that first. But we'll find out. Should be interesting. Did they just push this back? This used to say this was getting close down to time, and they just pushed it back to 11:30. So I wonder if this is gonna stop at 0. I'm assuming so, because they usually, for these live streams, they'll basically embed the YouTube live stream on their own site, but still stream it through YouTube. So I doubt they'll even run it on here. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yep, live stream will start soon. It's not starting for another 15 minutes. Yep, Jeremy's on top of it. Instead of the countdown timer. Well, let me tweet out my thing again, since we're about to start. The heck? I don't know why I did that. Tesla owners online, got it. Elon time strikes again. You're dang right about that. Man. Yep, I was not expecting this to start on time at all. Tesla events never start on time. They're always fashionably late with the start of their presentations. I'm surprised there aren't more people waiting for this event. Generally, these Tesla events get a pretty large viewership online. Like it's pretty insane. Like they'll get over 100,000 viewers. I remember the first time I streamed a Tesla event was like my most popular stream ever. I streamed the Model Y reveal, and I don't think I don't think Tesla ever tweeted out or like shared publicly their link for the live stream. So a lot of people went onto YouTube and were searching for it and found mine because at the time Tesla was streaming it like through their own website. They weren't using YouTube. You had to log in to the log in with like your name and your email. Took too much time, so a lot of people tuned into mine, and I had like over 1,000 viewers at a couple points throughout the stream. The first time I'd ever done a live stream, so was not as confident on camera and was not as prepared as I probably should have been for an event like that. So pretty insane that was the case for my first live stream. But nowadays, a lot of people tweet out the actual link and not just the not just whatever is available. Because I think I got featured in some like Inside EVs article too, because they're like, there's no official link for the Model Y unveil, so these are your best bets, and mine was one of the ones that they linked on there. So that was pretty neat. That bumped me over 1,000 subscribers as well, that event, because I had a lot of people subscribe that exact day. I gained like 300 subscribers that day, bumped me up over 1,000, so that was pretty cool. And now we're at 100,000, now we're at 10,000, which is still awesome. I've realized how important shorts are for growing on YouTube now as well. So if some of you are tuning in from my YouTube shorts, you probably got an actual alert on your phone that I was going live. Even though you might not know who I am, because usually my voice is in the YouTube shorts and not my face. Almost there. Any other last minute predictions? Got to get them in now. You only have 8 minutes to say I was right. 7 more minutes. Almost there. I think the fastest Tesla vehicle I've been in is I got in a Model S with insane mode. That was the fastest one. And also have driven a Model 3 Performance. I think those are both low 3s, 0 to 60. But I have not been in the newest updated Model S with like the low 2s, like 2.4 or whatever, 2.3. That came before this Plaid one, because I think even the long range is slower than that, right? Okay, long range is 3.1. Because you had to get a performance Model S to get the ludicrous mode, I believe. And it was like a $10,000 upgrade or something just to get the ludicrous mode. Goomer asked, would you have gone to the event if invited? I probably would have tried to make it work. I'm pretty busy at my day job right now, so this would have been a quick turnaround. Luckily, I probably could have taken Friday off and just flown down like maybe after work today, because I think it's a relatively quick flight. Plus, like you gain time flying to California too, so I probably would have tried to make it work. I know I did that with the Battery Day event. I found out like a week before. It took like 2 days off work, I think, to fly down there. And it was a lot of fun. I'm glad I did it. Seriously. Liam asked if there's any surprises I expect. I think the biggest surprise, which I don't think would be much of a surprise, I feel like it's kind of expected, is some sort of update on the Roadster, because that was originally when Plaid came about, and this whole idea of the Plaid powertrain started was with the Roadster. I feel like they put it in the Model S first because it's an already built vehicle. They can kind of tweak things. They're very familiar with it. They can adjust things on it. Whereas the Roadster, they're basically building from the ground up. So I think the Model S Plaid is almost a test version, or a, like, they're kind of trying out Plaid before they throw it on the Roadster and kind of working out kinks with it. So yeah, that's my biggest prediction for a surprise. Yeah, I think yeah, West Coast is nice. You guys don't have to stay up late for anything. Even watching Saturday Night Live, I always have to stay up. I have to stay up till like 1 in the morning to watch the whole thing, and it starts at like 8:30 and on the West Coast. It's ridiculous. Yeah, flying car would be cool too. If we saw any kind of like preview of the SpaceX Roadster, that'd be big time. They'd get some major press for that too, and I think they know that. So, because I don't know what other events they would really have where they would show something like that, unless they did a Roadster specific event, which I think would be like completely under wraps for until like a couple weeks before the actual event. And they've also got the shareholders meeting coming up, which I know they usually do some stuff around that same time. So yeah, there's so much with Tesla. They're constantly growing, constantly changing, adapting, everything. It's hard to keep up with even for me sometimes. Even with EVs as a whole nowadays, like I used to know like every major EV that was being released when I started my YouTube channel back in like 2018, and nowadays I can't even keep up with all the EVs that are being released and who's updating them or new features, all that kind of stuff. Two minutes. 2 minutes. Yeah, there we go. Now it's up to 13,000. It's like doubled since the last time I looked. See if anything else is going on. Yeah, what is this? I've seen some videos of this too, and it's like a weird front end on it. I don't know what's going on. Is it better to wait to buy a Tesla so they can be better? They're still pretty new. Thoughts? Yeah, I think that was the case like back when or the case anytime they release a new model. I think it's probably better to wait it out a little bit so they can close out some or figure out some issues or minor quirks like when they're ramping up manufacturing. But nowadays, like if you're gonna buy a Model 3, like there's no reason to wait really. They're if anything, they're probably gonna raise prices, so it's probably better to buy it now. Um, I think that's what most people are looking at are the Model 3 and Y. So I don't think there's really any reason to wait at this point because they've got them pretty well worked out. Okay, now we're waiting for Tesla. Okay. We'll leave it on this stream because this should be the legit one. Yeah, Lance, I had kind of that same question when I was looking at my car, the standard range versus long range. I originally was going to get a standard range because it was cheaper and ended up waiting it out. At the time when I was going to buy my car, they actually had the mid-range version. That's originally what I was going to get, but by the time I actually got to where I wanted to buy the car, I had saved up a little bit more money and ended up going with the long range. I'm really glad I did too because it's definitely a better vehicle and gives you some extra range, extra performance, just a little bit extra of stuff, and I think that's an important for an EV if you can afford it. Range especially, I love having 300 miles of range, and especially if you're somebody that's driving a lot. Definitely worth it to get that extra range. I can tell you, it's definitely saved me a couple times where I've been doing a long trip and lost some efficiency and wasn't as worried because I definitely wouldn't have made it in a in a standard range. So all long range are all-wheel drive. Yeah. And I don't think they even sell the standard range Model Y anymore. So long range is the only option unless you can find a used one. Model 3 is the only one that's still selling the standard range. Aaron asks, "What's going to be my next Tesla?" That's a good question. I bought my Model 3 with the intention of keeping it for a very long time. Um, I do eventually. One thing I would like to do is get into vehicle rentals, specifically with EVs. So if I bought another Tesla, it would probably be as a rental vehicle. Looks like Tesla's live now. They're just showing this, but we'll bump it to full screen here. Um, so my next Tesla, I do have a reservation in for a Cybertruck, so that may be my next Tesla, but I don't really know. I've also got the reservation for the Ford Lightning that we talked about earlier in the stream, so I'm kind of between those two vehicles depending on what gets released and what I like better when they actually hit the market and are on the roads and we can see a little bit more of them in person. But yeah, I don't know what my next Tesla would be because my Model 3 does everything I need it to. So I don't really need a new vehicle, which is hard because I want a new vehicle all the time with all the new EVs coming out. Luckily, I can just do a lot of test drives and do videos on them. So that usually helps a little bit and puts the want for a new vehicle at bay for a little bit. Yeah, biggest difference, Lance, between the 3 and Y is the room, honestly. If you're looking for more room, especially the trunk, I will say definitely you get way more room in the trunk with the Model Y. It's more of a similar, opens more similarly to a minivan versus a regular car trunk. So if you want to fit bigger, boxier things in your trunk, or you like having that and more of kind of a crossover SUV, Model Y is definitely the way to go. You got a lot more room in there. Model 3 can still fit things. I did a video sleeping in my Model 3, so like I fit in it lengthwise, and you can sleep in it, but it's still pretty tight. And if you've got, you can fit long things in it, so you can fit like up to 6 or 7 feet long things inside of it, but they've got to be very long. They can't be boxier things. So yeah. Ford has a bad reputation, especially when it comes to electrical problems. Ford Lightning seems sketchy. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about Ford's reputation with electrical stuff. Are you saying like electrical, like wiring inside the car, or like actual batteries and EV stuff? Because those are kind of two different things. I got that techno music bumping. Yeah, Lance, I'm not too familiar with those problems, but I mean, I don't know exactly because I haven't researched it too much, so I can't really speak on it. I will say Ford doesn't have a huge history with EVs. They had the Ford Focus EV, and I'm trying to remember if they have any other EVs at all. So that's the other reason I just have the refundable deposit on it, because it is their kind of first foray into big EVs. So funny enough, they did a Ford Ranger pickup back in late 90s, early 2000s. That was an EV, obviously, Ford Ranger EV. Bought an F-250 Platinum diesel, and the engine and a bunch of stuff needs to be rebuilt for like the second time. That is not fun. Yeah, hopefully you get your money back if it's having all those issues. That's a shame. I know that's never fun to deal with car problems, no matter what the car is. So hopefully you can get it all worked out. I'm like, honestly, I've done some videos on trucks and the Cybertruck and everything. I am like not a huge truck person, but I'm glad a couple of them are starting to get into EVs. I think the biggest problem with EV trucks, I kind of touched on it when we were talking about the Cybertruck, is just having a lot of range up front, because you really do need it with a truck if you're going to be doing a lot of towing and hauling and all that good stuff. Any kind of cargo or weight you add to the truck is going to reduce the range. So having a bigger buffer for that is definitely will set trucks apart. Okay, yeah. So Tesla just links to their YouTube. So we'll just have this up. Let's see if anything's new on Twitter. That's my go-to source. I like that mask from What's Inside. That's cool. They need new superchargers. Imagine having to unhitch your trailer every time to charge. Yeah, I know even people with like Model X's and Model Y's that'll go camping and have to either pull in kind of a weird way, or like pull up behind the supercharger. There's like, kind of depends on the orientation of the charger of where you can park, because obviously you need it on the driver's side to plug in. But yeah, I hope they add more kind of like pull through stations so you can just pull up and plug in your car, so you don't have to worry about unhitching anything, because that is a pain. Like, you shouldn't have to deal with that. I'm wondering if they might add, I know they're starting to develop the mega chargers for the semis. I'm wondering if they might enable that on the Cybertruck. I think that'd be pretty cool, because I'm guessing those will be more set up for things with big trailers. But also it'd be kind of a pain if you are like a long haul trucker and have to deal with like pedestrian cars getting in your way. But I don't know. Lance, did you buy the charger for your house to charge overnight? I didn't, because I don't live in a house. I'm actually in an apartment right now. Originally bought my car when I was driving to work and had free charging actually available at work, so I was able to plug in there. Since last March, we've been working from home, and I've got a supercharger about 10 minutes away from me at a grocery store, and we'll go and plug over there while I get my groceries. And usually it's about once a week I need to go charge up, so about as convenient as a gas station. Definitely recommend if you are getting an EV. I don't think it's really worth the money to get the full-blown wall charger unless you feel like you really need to charge really fast at home. Just installing a regular NEMA 1450 wall outlet and then getting the adapter. Try to pull that up real quick. So for those that aren't familiar, this is what comes with your car. You've got your mobile connector, and then just the regular, this little part connects into there, and it just has the regular wall plug on it. You can buy adapters for that same charger, so for the cost of way cheaper, so 1450 is generally what people go with, because they're higher amperage, like the highest amperage you can get, and will get you the fastest speeds. For the cost of 45 bucks, if you get this for your mobile connector that already comes with the car, you could just use that and attach it to that mobile connector, and then just plug it in that higher powered wall outlet at your house. So that's generally the cheapest route to go, because the charger itself is like 500 bucks. So you could either spend, and you're still going to have to run the wire to it too. So I think it's a pretty similar wire that you have to run. So cost for running the circuit out to this charger is probably going to be about the same no matter what you put in there. So you could either spend $500 and get this wall connector, or you could spend $35 to $45 and just get the adapter. So that's what I generally recommend to people. Oh, here we go. Okay. Oh my god, he's got a sledgehammer. That's hilarious. Oh my god.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Fremont, California. We're out here at the test track of our Fremont factory, just a few meters away from where we actually build all of our Tesla vehicles. We're super excited to have you all here. In fact,
where's he from?
Almost 9 years ago, on June 22nd, 2012, we had our first Model S delivery event right over there in the factory. So we've come a long way in a few years. We set out to design, engineer, and manufacture the best car in the planet, and we've been working tirelessly every day to try to make that happen. And tonight, we're going to show you the next best version of Model S. And I brought this along because we might be breaking a few records. But more about that later. So let's get Elon out here and have him show you how we made the best car in the world.
A car of any kind.
The Model S. This is an ambitious goal to create a whole new kind of car. A lot of Wall Street is betting Tesla can't get it done.
One of my biggest regrets is not investing in Tesla sooner, because I think I first found them in high school when they were releasing the Model S, and I'm like, I want to put some money in this company, and I never did until later. Oh my gosh. Does that have Plaid on the inside too?
All right. Thanks for coming and thanks for tuning in. So, as Franz was saying, this is 9 years since we delivered the first Model S, the first car produced here in Fremont. So almost a decade. And I think we're really taken it to a whole new level with Plaid. Some of you may know that, I mean, basically our product plan is stolen from Spaceballs. So we've gone Plaid speed. What we really wanted to achieve here is like, well, why make this really fast car that's crazy fast and everything? And I think there is something that's quite important to the future of sustainable energy, which is that we got to show that an electric car is the best car, hands down. You know, so it's got to be clear. It's like, man, this is sustainable energy cars. It can be the fastest cars, can be the safest cars, can be the most kick-ass cars in every way. And that's why we did the Plaid. It's just to show hands down, this is the way to go. So, yes. Pressing slide. There we go. All right. So, we've made huge improvements from the original car. Well, actually, who here, has anyone here, probably some have, bought the early Model S, like the, yeah. All right. Well, thank you for your support. you can see the huge improvements we've made. So, and it started off with good performance, but now with Plaid, we've managed to break the 2-second barrier, if you will. No production car has ever done 0 to 60 in under 2 seconds. So,
It's wild.
so and this is a 4-door car, seats 5 adults, et cetera, et cetera. It's like,
so insane.
you know, this thing is moving. I mean, this is like what I call like limit of physics engineering. It's not relative engineering. It's like, what does physics say we could do? Because physics is the law and everything else is a recommendation. So, in addition to a crazy performance, it's also got a longer range. Even with the tri-motor high performance, it's got almost a 400-mile range. And in the dual motor configuration, it's got a 412-mile range. So, 420, give or take. So, that joke will never end. So, and we've also improved the supercharging speed, so you can get 187 miles of range in 15 minutes.
There we go.
So, yeah, so quickest production car, to be clear, of any kind ever made, like I said, first to ever break the 2-second barrier. Later tonight, you'll get a chance to drive around the track, and like this is really something you have to feel to believe. Because it hits you right in the limbic system. It's like, damn, like, whoa. Yeah. It is basically, what is the car that we can, how can we make a spaceship a car, you know? So, hello. So, let's see. Yep. And then in terms of additional stats, it's also the fastest production car to complete a quarter mile, so 9.23 seconds. It's got a 200-mile-an-hour top speed, over 1,000 horsepower, almost 400-mile range. Like I said, charges so fast, you know, it'll be probably done by the time you have a coffee, basically. And talking about some of the sort of details behind it. So we have an all-new battery pack, and then something we're really proud of is the new carbon-sleeved rotors for the motor. So this is the first time that there's, to the best of our knowledge, there's been a production electric motor that has a carbon overwrapped rotor. So this is a super hard thing to do because carbon and copper have, you know, at very different rates of thermal expansion. So in order to do a carbon overwrapped rotor, you've got to wind it at extremely high tension. It's a very hard thing to do. We actually had to design the machine that makes the rotor. So no such machine existed before. It also means that we can have the electromagnetic field be super efficient and have a tight gap even at super high RPM.
That's pretty cool.
And it's single speed from 0 to 200 miles an hour. So it's just, the RPM is so crazy that just the centrifugal force wants to expand the rotor. So the carbon overwrap actually holds the rotor, basically holds the rotor together. It's like it's
crazy.
Madness. So, yeah. So let's see. In fact, we're going to show you the motor. In fact, you might have had a chance to see the drive unit. And we can go closer. I mean, this is really an amazing work of engineering. Yeah. There's just never been an electric motor like this. I mean, you could pick this motor up with your hands, and it can accelerate a 2-ton car to 60 miles an hour in 2 seconds. I mean, that kind of power to weight is insane. Yeah. So it goes, it goes up to 20,000 RPM and maybe a little more. So. Yeah, I was just saying, look, close look at it. So, let's see. Okay, let's switch back to the slides, I think. So, in it, we also were able to achieve the lowest drag coefficient of any car ever made. So, yeah. So, really, I think Tesla engineering has outdone itself here. This is a car that looks good, but also gets an incredible drag coefficient. And this is the true drag coefficient of the car, including with wheels in motion. Sometimes you'll hear drag coefficients quoted, but that'll be without the wheels moving. And the wheels cause sort of air churn and incremental drag. And this is the actual drag coefficient of the car. So it's to have a good-looking sports car, have that lower drag coefficient is really tough. So. We also have the latest and greatest in heat pump, which is basically the HVAC system for the car.
Oh, nice.
It's 30% better cold weather range and requires 50% less energy for cabin heating in freezing conditions.
It's the one thing I'm missing on my car.
You'll see very little degradation in cold weather. And the radiator is twice as big for heat rejection. So you'll be able to actually do back-to-back 0 to 60s, go on the track, just haul ass, and as you'll see tonight, this car is just going to do over and over again, and it doesn't get winded. I think we got to take this back to maybe the Nürburgring. See what happens. And then, of course, when we first delivered the Model S, there were no superchargers anywhere in the world. So back in 2012, no superchargers anywhere. Now there are 25,000 superchargers all around the world. So.
That's wild. I think they're about to get to.
We opened 30 just in the last week. And we're just going to keep going so that you can basically travel anywhere you want with peace of mind, super easy. Keep increasing the power of the superchargers. We're 250 kilowatts. Obviously, that we'll start going to 280, 300, 350. Yeah. So. And then it's also engineered for maximum safety as well. So, in fact, this is designed to be our aspiration for this car. It still has to be tested by the U.S. government, but we think we can get the lowest probability of injury of any car ever tested. So.
Wow. That's wild.
In fact, these are the actual NHTSA probability of injuries numbers. All top 5 cars with the lowest probability of injuries ever tested, all 5 are Teslas.
Wow,
so,
that's awesome.
So, with the Plaid Model S, what you have is a car that is faster quicker than any sports car, and faster than any Porsche, safer than any Volvo, in the same car. That's insane. It's like, yeah. So, and then the design, we've obviously made a lot of refinements to the exterior, and then we've completely redone the interior. So I think once you drive the new Model S, it really feels like you're driving the future. And other cars are going to, especially like non-Tesla cars, are going to feel very last century. So, all new interior. As you can see, we changed the orientation of the main screen, so it's easier to watch movies and that kind of thing in landscape. Yeah, exactly. I mean, in other notes, we have ventilated front seats. So, yeah. Anyway, I think it's really. You drive around and it really feels like, okay, we're in 2021. Great. We have this yoke steering wheel, which is a little different, but I think once you try it, you'll think it's great. The visibility of the main screen is super clear, especially for autopilot. So you can see the entire panoramic view you can basically see the mind's eye of the car. Yeah, it's really cool. So, and then we've gotten rid of the stalks. So, like, I think generally all input is error. So we want, if you have to do something that the car could have done already, that should be taken care of. The software should just do it. So you can actually just literally walk up to the car, it senses that you're approaching, unlocks the car based on your phone. It just basically pairs with your phone, knows that you're coming to the car, opens the door, extends the handle, you sit down, and you just drive. You don't have to press the drive or anything like that. The car knows you want to drive. It figures like, yeah, good guess, you know. So, and then it's using the autopilot system to know where the obstacles are. So obviously, if there's something in front of you, you want to go backwards, and if there's something in back of you, you want to go front, most likely. And then it will adapt to your to your needs. So if it sees that you're always doing this, you're changing to reverse or forward in particular situations, it'll try to remember that and geocode it to that location. So then you won't have to do it in the future. It will just keep minimizing the amount of input that you need to do until the car just reads your mind. So it's gonna be great.
I wonder how that'll work out practically. That's probably my biggest question mark so far.
We've redesigned the interior. We've removed the interior so that the front IP is actually slimmer and thinner. So we were able to move the front seats forward, giving more room to the back seat, and we reclined the back seat more and reduced the interior trim. So basically, the current Model S, the back seat is not amazing, but the new one, it's actually a legit back seat, I'd say. It's like, it's good. So you can, I think it's quite a comfortable back seat, and you've got also a rear screen, and you can control everything from the back. Yeah. So it's got dual inductive chargers for your phones in the back and dual inductive in the front. And it's a 36-watt power supply, so you can actually charge like your, laptop or anything. Basically, it's a 36-watt USB-C.
Dang.
Yeah. It can also pair with multiple Bluetooth devices simultaneously. So multiple people could be controlling music, or somebody could be playing a video game. So it's you can do multiple wireless things simultaneously.
It's probably for controllers then.
And then, similar to the Model 3 and Y, instead of having air vents, we use intersecting columns of air. So, and we just vary the speed of the air. So you don't have to. There's no vents that you can see, and you can just touch the screen and move the screen around, and it'll just move the air wherever you want it. And the air is much more diffuse. It just feels like an invisible air conditioning system. It's great. So, and it's a tri-zone. So there's a zone for the rear, and a front and left front, right front zone. So.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
And then the 17-inch touchscreen it feels like a movie theater. The sound is incredible.
Wow.
And yeah, so you can really it's like a home theater experience.
That's
so
really
if you're sitting somewhere waiting, or for whatever reason, or at a supercharger, you can just catch up on what are your favorite Netflix show or iTunes or whatever the case may be, YouTube, and of course you can also play video games.
There we go.
And the same thing for the rear. So you can rear. It basically the system feeds all three screens, and so you can do things the front, rear. It's great. We have an all-new sound system designed by Tesla Audio, and we have acoustic glass throughout the car, so the car is very quiet when going down the highway. Even at very high speeds, like you're doing like 100 miles an hour, it's still quiet. And this is a Tesla-designed codec, so it will keep uploading improved versions of the sound system. It's completely software-defined, so we'll keep tweaking it and dynamically adjusting to whether you're using streaming, or whether it's coming via Bluetooth from your phone, or different streaming services. It'll actually, and if the data rate changes, it'll adapt that. So basically, it always sounds good. And that's just going to get better. So, yeah. And then we've got an all-new UI. So.
Oh.
Really want waypoints.
Oh.
Okay, does everybody here want waypoints? All right, fine, we'll do waypoints. God damn it. All right.
I don't know why he doesn't want to do waypoints. I think because he
Do
thinks software can figure it all out. But
all right, we'll do
no,
waypoints, fine. But obviously, it also interfaces with your calendar. So if you just basically if you just get in the car and you just sort of swipe down from navigate, you don't have to enter anything. Just swipe down. The car will automatically figure out if you want to go to home, work, or what's on your calendar. So it'll default to calendar priority. And obviously, if you're at home and it's kind of a weekday or whatever, it assumes you're going to go to work. So you just swipe down, it automatically navigates to work, and checks traffic and gives you an optimal route. So it's just like a nice little easy thing. And you can actually set it to automatically generate the most probable route. So you just get in, and it's going to guess what route you want, and you don't have to press anything. Yeah. So anyway, the UI is like basically easy to move around, expand, contract, shift music to the left, to the right, and we're going to keep improving it. So it basically feels like a modern tablet or phone. So. And then it's not PS4, it's PS5. So there's
no word on that new.
I think there's never been a car that has state-of-the-art computing technology, state-of-the-art infotainment, where this is literally at the level of a PlayStation 5. So, yeah, I mean, if you think about the future where the car is often in autopilot or full self-driving mode, then entertainment is going to become increasingly important. So you're going to want to watch movies, play games, use the internet, just little things you want to do if you're not driving. And this is actual PlayStation 5 level performance. So we're going to try to do a gaming demo. Yes, it can play Cyberpunk. So this is somebody playing the car right now. This is playing live. Yeah. So it's like pretty great, So have fun in the game. It's gonna be great. So, all right. So high frame rate will do 60 frames a second with state-of-the-art games. Yeah. All right, so we got incredible performance, interior of the future. I think engineering that's practically alien. So, like I said, simultaneously the safest car in the world and the fastest. This is insane. So, we also got look at some things like the power curve. So I think this really illustrates the difference. It maintains 1,000 horsepower all the way up to 200 miles an hour.
Wow. How flat it is, too.
This car crushes. All right. So, yes. All right, and deliveries begin now. So we're in production. We're going to deliver the first 25 cars now, and then basically we should be at several hundred cars per week soon, and 1,000 cars a week probably next quarter. So
Wow.
please enjoy. We put a lot of work into this. I'd like to thank the incredible work of the Tesla engineering and production teams. So like, my hat is off to Tesla engineering, production, design, the whole group. They put their heart and soul into this. So hope you enjoy it. So let's deliver some cars. All right.
So, big questions. I'm not sure about this new UI. I would like to see that come to the Model 3 and Y, because it looks like it's a lot better. And then the auto shift and autopilot, whatever. I like having control over that stuff, so. What do you guys think? This initial reaction. Have Joe Rogan come and get in the first one. That'd be funny. Well, that looks like it's gonna be it. Looks like there's gonna be some driving. That looks like it's the end of the stream, unfortunately. No big surprises, but that was kind of what I expected. I was gonna be happy if there were any, but obviously not too disappointed, because that's about what I expected. But very impressive vehicle. Let me know what you guys thought of the Model S Plaid, and hope to see you around the channel too if you're subscribed. So thanks everybody for tuning in. I'm hopping off for now, but we'll talk to you all in the next video. Thanks for watching.